What's going on, mid-market family? In today's video, I have a $3 penny stock that just recently, about 2 to 3 months ago, dropped a big press release about an upcoming treasury strategy. And today, we're seeing a bunch of companies with Ethereum or Bitcoin treasuries go on a huge run. So you're not going to want to miss this interesting penny stock that I'll talk about within today's video. Guys, before I get right into that, I'm about to go over that stock. Let me quickly just mention BMNR, guys. Within the private Discord, I absolutely was telling you guys BMNR, at 8:02 a.m., this has huge news, was alerting that in the private Discord. And then 9 a.m. BMNR, this is a top watch all day for dips and rips. When I say dips and rips, that means I'm adding dips and then riding out those rips. And like I said, that more people will recognize this news throughout the day. And that was a news on the Ethereum treasury with Tom Lee joining the board of directors. And you guys can see I was tweeting about this at 8:03 a.m., tweeting the video, tweeting again. I said top play all day 7 hours ago at 9:29 a.m. right before market open, guys. So I was pounding the table on it right all the way down here. That's where I was focused on getting in on. I got in a bunch and I made my 200%. I still have a few shares left. I take profit on the way up as always. I still do think this can probably go even higher from here, guys, because BMNR is in a situation where Tom Lee is on board, and Tom Lee is one of those guys that just has a lot of big money behind him in terms of big money. And big money retail investors love to follow what Tom Lee is doing, including myself. I profited quite a bit on ticker BMNR today. Guys, I'm going to open 10 spots for the private Discord for this video. They're probably going to be sold out pretty quick. And then I'll, restock them whenever I have the chance. But 10 spots are going to be open for this video specifically. So if you haven't joined the private Discord, use the WAP link down below to get in the private Discord as soon as possible. Guys, BMNR was up today on an Ethereum treasury PR, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about ticker BGLC. So BGLC is the focus of today's video and the only stock that I'm covering in today's video. BGLC is at a $5.5 million market cap, a 1.27 million free float, and they don't have a history of any major dilution. They are low on cash, so keep that in mind, guys. Remember, penny stocks are trade opportunities. A long-term hold for me is ticker VOO. I like to buy and hold ticker VOO for the long run. VOO, buy and hold forever type ordeal. And I like to trade penny stocks because they're volatile, they are risky, but I have found myself successful trading high-risk penny stocks to kind of go ahead and put that money into tickers like VOO for the long run. But as we've been seeing recently with LCFY and BMNR, the smaller ones can have the even more explosive, bigger moves, which is why I think BGLC has that capabilities. And on 3/5/2025, so about 3 months ago, BGLC announced a board approval of Ethereum treasury strategy and release of strategic white paper. Remember, the reason that BMNR went up massively today was because they announced Ethereum treasury strategy. Now, I'm not saying BGLC is going to do the same thing as BMNR, because BMNR is obviously in a whole different situation. They have Tom Lee behind them, and they have 250 million private placement. I don't know the number for the BGLC private placement, if there's even going to be one in the future, but this can have a parabolic move, in my opinion, because of this Ethereum treasury strategy. If they release another PR about the Ethereum treasury strategy once again, then I do believe that BGLC can go on a pretty big run. And you can see that this decision marks BGLC as the first NASDAQ-listed company to prioritize Ethereum as a treasury asset. So believe it or not, BGLC was actually the first one to go ahead and use Ethereum as a treasury asset. We've had SBET and we've had, BMNR do it, after they announced this, and those have both gone on a huge run. So I wouldn't be surprised if BGLC has that ability to go on a really big run, and they've pretty much dropped a white paper. Actually, they even have a white paper on their website, BGLC Ethereum Strategy White Paper, and they kind of go through, if you click it and download the PDF, they kind of go through, the reason to why they are choosing Ethereum as a treasury instead of something like Bitcoin. You can see that for Ethereum, the next evolution of Ethereum is coming out, either late 2025 or early 2026. And, that's probably pretty bullish for Ethereum and pretty bullish for ticker BGLC. And they've given a few reasons on why they've chosen BGLC as an Ethereum treasury, including institutional credibility, adoption among major financial institutions, yield generation capability to get passive income through staking, and Ethereum underpins trillions of dollars in stablecoin transactions annually. So I think this stablecoin aspect of Ethereum is the main reason why people are getting so bullish on Ethereum as of lately, because Ethereum is widely used for stablecoins, and USDC, one of the biggest stablecoins out there, operates on the Ethereum blockchain. Just recently, the Senate passed a genius stablecoin bill, giving crypto industry first major legislative win, and industry giants like Amazon and Walmart are reportedly moving towards stablecoin style offering as payment networks. And we know that Ethereum is widely used for stablecoins, including some of the biggest ones out there, including USDC, DAI, and some other stable coins out there, which is why that I could see actually Ethereum get pretty hot in the near future because of this. And of course, we're already seeing the stocks that are doing Ethereum treasury strategies get really hot. And BGLC is one that is a pretty clean setup right now that has a huge ability to go on a big run if they go ahead and talk about their Ethereum treasury once again in another press release. Also, you can see that Tom Lee, this is his Twitter account, he retweeted that if you believe in stablecoins, if you believe stablecoins will grow over the next decade, Tom Lee believes a core beneficiary will be Ethereum. So basically, if you believe in stablecoins, a lot of those transactions are going through Ethereum, which is going to benefit Ethereum, the volume, the people that need it to have Ethereum. And it can be a pretty good use case for Ethereum through these stable coins, guys. Okay, on 3/7/2025, they also put out a PR partnering with ML Tech to enhance Ethereum-focused treasury strategy. Another step towards getting that done. And, there was a mention here in one of these PRs of this being a future thing that they are going to do in terms of the Ethereum treasury. So that makes me personally believe that they could potentially put out more PRs about this Ethereum treasury in the future, based on the fact that, they said it right here, a forward-looking initiative is intended to enhance capital efficiency while aligning with emerging digital infrastructure standards. So it would be really interesting to see if BGLC put out a PR talking about this Ethereum treasury. If we take a look at the chart here, it's bounced pretty big. BGLC has a history of huge moves. You can see had a huge 700% move back here, had a huge move back here, 400%. As of recently, it had a 270% move. And from the level it's at right now, it even moved up 78% from there. So in my personal opinion, BGLC looks like a prime candidate for a big move. What I'm going to have for this one is my stop loss is going to be under $2 per share on this one. I mean, you could have a stop loss under, 260. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just going over trade ideas of what I'm looking to do, how I'm looking to play this, and then looking to ride the wave on this one. But remember to always use risk management, guys. Penny stocks are extremely risky. You got to do your own research at the end of the day. Contact a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing interesting ideas. I'm just sharing what I'm doing on the chart, what I'm looking at. So an idea on this one for me, what I'm going to be doing is adding around the area it's at right now from $2.60 to $3 per share, having a stop loss under 260. If you have even bigger risk management, having a stop loss under 2 is another idea, but that would be a 30% loss. The market is hot right now, so I just wanted to bring this one to your guys' attention as soon as possible. Get in the private Discord, guys. Remember, I had you guys on top of BMNR all day, telling you this was my #1 play all day. I know people get confused and they're talking about all these other plays and they don't know which one is the best, but that's what I'm trying to help you guys with. I'm not going to always be right. 100% of the time, I'm not always going to be right. It's not realistic. I can't always be right, but I can always do my best to bring you guys the hottest plays in the entire market and what I think are the best plays in the market. So make sure you turn on the notification bell if you do not have that notification bell turned on. I highly suggest getting that notification bell turned on as soon as possible. We've had some really big runners on the channel recently. Doesn't mean that past performance will be future performance, guys, but I will always come to you guys with what I think are really interesting opportunities. Alrighty, guys, peace.